Rafael Márquez, Israel Vázquez. They are the two best 122-pound fighters in the world. Their fight lived up to, then exceeded expectations.
Fight breaks out right away. Tremendous give and take.
It was savage.
They continue to trade vicious punches.
It was brutal.
And they trade, going toe-to-toe in the center of the ring.
And it ended abruptly. And for some, inconclusive.
What's happening? It's over. Vázquez says no more. Wow.
That fight approached greatness. Will this one define it? Márquez versus Vázquez 2 on America's Fight Night.
Are flying, firing bombs. Big action here. What a heavy right hand. It's all over. We've got a new champion.
The tiny border town of Hidalgo, Texas is just a stone's throw away from the boxing crazy country of Mexico. Tonight, the rabid fans of this community will be treated to one of the most significant rematches in the history of the super bantamweight division.
And yes, it's a hot ticket on a hot night in Hidalgo. The crowd here at the Dodge Arena is brimming with excitement and anticipation. It's fight night in South Texas. In our main event, Rafael Márquez is set to battle again with Israel Vázquez for the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship. Hello again, everybody. Steve Albert from Hidalgo, Texas. When the first Rafael Márquez-Israel Vázquez fight was made, boxing fans and insiders alike instantly labeled it a candidate for Fight of the Year. And why not? Márquez and Vázquez were both action fighters and champions at the top of their respective games. Sure enough, the Mexican rivals were in the midst of a memorable shootout when their bout was stopped because of a nose injury that hampered Vázquez's breathing. A rematch made perfect sense, and here we are. Call it round 8 of a classic rivalry in the making. And with that, let me bring on my ringside partner, Al Bernstein. And Al, you've got to be anxious for a conclusion by stoppage of the scorecards instead of on the stool.
You know, let's make no mistake. Rafael Márquez certainly deserved to win their first fight. After all, it was his fist that caused the physical issues for Israel Vázquez, and he was ahead on the scorecards as well. Because this fight was stopped because of a specific injury and because the power that Vázquez had shown earlier in the fight maybe could reemerge, well, it whetted our appetite certainly for a rematch. But, oh, and there was one other thing. It was a great fight, so we want to see the great fight again, but hopefully with more definitive resolution this time.
All right, Al, well, 5 months ago, they started throwing at the opening bell, and the intensity grew as the fight progressed through 7 exhausting and punishing rounds. Tonight in the sequel, two-time world champion Israel Vázquez looks to reclaim the title while avenging his loss. Jim Gray visited with the challenger in his dressing room earlier this evening.
We will attempt to do this interview in English. Israel has agreed to try and answer in English. If he can't, Felix de Jesus is here to interpret. Let me ask you about your nose. You had surgery 4 months ago. That's what caused you to have to stop in your last fight against Rafael. Is your nose ready, and are you concerned about it tonight?
I feel good. I feel ready for this fight.
Your former trainer, Freddie Roach, amongst others, have said it's too soon. You need more time. This is dangerous. Do you believe what he's had to say? What has caused you to go ahead and fight?
Pienso que esta noche realmente no puede respirar, pero esta noche va a ser diferente.
Yeah, last fight he could not breathe because of the fractured nose, but that he's going to be ready tonight.
Many people believe in that fight that you quit. Did you quit?
No, I don't think so. I demonstrate this night.
Is this a chance for you for redemption, a chance to make up for what happened 5 months ago?
No, creo que gracias a la oportunidad que nos están dando la vamos a aprovechar.
He's thankful for the opportunity he's getting tonight, and they're going to take advantage of it.
Are you concerned at all about getting a punch to your nose and not being able to breathe again?
No me va a tocar. He don't touch me.
He says that he won't get touched today.
Israel, best of luck. Thank you. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Well, despite his problems, Vázquez continued to trade vicious punches with Márquez, even dropped him in the third. That's impressive, Al.
You know, I thought it was interesting that both fighters told us before this fight that they were each surprised at the power the other man demonstrated. And make no mistake, the very reason there's a rematch is the fact that Vázquez was able to knock Márquez down in that third round, because that's what has created a lot of the doubt that at least makes us feel, and I think rightfully so, we could be in for a great fight in this rematch.
All right, Rafael Márquez is living the dream, escaping the shadow of his brother Juan Manuel. He's now pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world. Will he still have that ranking after this fight? Earlier tonight, Karen Bryant spoke with the champion.
Once again, we've got Felix de Jesus translating for us. Now, Rafael, Israel has said that tonight things are going to go a little bit differently, and he means in his favor. What are your thoughts?
Israel dice que las cosas van a ser un poquito diferente esta noche y todo va a ser en favor de él. ¿Qué tú piensas de eso?
Bueno, venimos bien preparados para hacer una gran pelea, y bueno, Israel puede decir varias cosas, ¿no? Pero arriba va a estar él y yo, ¿no?
Well, we've come prepared tonight. He can say whatever he wants, but they're prepared here on this end.
Okay. Now, leading up to this fight, he's talked a lot about the problems with his nose. He's saying that's the reason he wasn't able to beat you. Does that bother you at all?
¿Te molesta que él ha dicho que debido a que la nariz de él tuvo problemas en la primera pelea, eso fue lo que lo afectó y por eso no te ganó?
No me molesta. Lo importante de todo esto es que gané, y bueno, que toda la gente lo vio que le gané por los golpes que le metí yo, y bueno, por eso fue ganador, ¿no?
No, it doesn't bother me. Everybody saw that I hit him during that night and that I won.
Okay. Is there a sense of unfinished business, though, because there was so much talk about this being the fight of the year, and it was cut short? Tonight we have that opportunity again for the fight of the year. Do you feel a sense of unfinished business?
¿Tú piensas que todavía no se ha terminado totalmente, ya que era programada como la pelea del año, la última pelea?
Bueno, esperemos dar en este combate lo mejor que dimos la primera vez, ¿no? La primera pelea, y esperemos vender un buen espectáculo a toda la gente de aquí del Valle, y bueno, esperar nada más la pelea, ¿no?
We expect to put on a show tonight and basically show that we're great fighters tonight.
¿Y su esposa, is your wife, is she still pregnant?
¿Y tu esposa todavía está embarazada?
Sí, todavía a unos días de dar luz, y bueno, esperar nada más.
It's a couple of days through the birth, so they're just waiting.
All right, well, if you win, you should name him Victor. Thank you very much. Good night. Gracias y buena suerte.
Gracias.
A very relaxed Rafael Márquez, like his counterpart, with the attitude, hey, people pay good money to see good boxing. That's why these two are so fan-friendly, this matchup so enticing. Will Márquez attain his definitive victory, or will Vázquez get his sweet redemption? Rafael Márquez, considered pound for pound one of the best fighters in the world, but to keep that lofty standing, he must retain the title tonight with a conclusive rematch victory against an opponent who's as hungry as he's ever been. Yes, former champ Israel Vázquez has never been more motivated, saying, quote, when somebody takes something from you, you want it back. Well, Al, once again, we see in a lower weight class the best fighting the best.
That really is the hallmark of a lot of these lower weight classes. And, you know, in the past several years, the featherweight and super featherweight divisions with stars like Manny Pacquiao, Eric Morales, and Marco Antonio Barrera were thought to be the gold standard for the lighter weight classes. But on closer examination, the bantamweight division, recently ruled by Rafael Márquez, and the super bantamweight division, featured here tonight, have been just as good.
The match between Vázquez and Márquez this March was an example of the skill and courage recently exhibited in these two weight classes. Early on, Márquez demonstrated his hand speed and his power, stunning Vázquez. But in round 3, Vázquez, normally the bigger of the two fighters, flashed his power, and it looked like he was taking over the match. Márquez, however, rallied back, ultimately breaking Vázquez's nose, causing him to stop the fight.
What's happening? It's over. Rafael Márquez is the winner.
So it's on to Márquez-Vázquez 2, which has all the ingredients for another compelling super bantamweight matchup. And who knows, possibly another candidate for Fight of the Year.
Well, Al, I guess you could say that was one heck of a feeling out process for 7 rounds back in March. How do you think they'll approach the rematch?
Well, with a lot of seriousness, that's for sure. I want to point out that we referenced the broken nose in that piece of Vázquez. We later found out when we got here that it was the other injuries that we've detailed already on this show. Now, as far as how they'll approach this, the fact is that Márquez, even though he won the fight, interestingly noted to us that there are some adjustments that he has to make. For Israel Vázquez, even though he pinned much of the problems on that nose issue, the fact of the matter is there are things he will have to improve on if he's to win this rematch. One of those improvements is landing more jabs, and the best way to do that is to double up with that punch. Vázquez kept his hands low, and the quick-handed Márquez took advantage with jabs and lead right hands. The hook is the punch Vázquez can land in this fight, and it is a good one. He needs to be close to land it well, as he was here in their first fight. This was Vázquez's shining moment in their first match. He would like to repeat it several times tonight. The Márquez jab was a difference maker against Vázquez. He needs to establish that again early tonight. Throwing hooks opens Márquez to counter hooks by Vázquez, especially when they're thrown on the outside. The Márquez right was very effective in their first match, sometimes after a jab and sometimes, in this case, as a lead. When Vázquez left his left hand low, Márquez used a lead right to punish him. Márquez will look for this punch a lot this evening.
Many questions and concerns regarding Israel Vázquez 10 days after the first fight. Surgery to remove cartilage and blood clots from his damaged nose. But because he quit on his stool, some are questioning the heart of a former champion who always had the reputation as a ring warrior, despite having 10% breathing capacity from his nose. Meanwhile, the highly respected Freddie Roach, replaced by Rudy Perez as Vázquez's trainer, recently said Vázquez should have had a year's rest to fully heal, and that Vázquez is beginning to slur his words. Vázquez insists he's 100%. So who's right, who's wrong, and should Vázquez be back this soon? And one last point, Vázquez wore a protective guard in training. This will be the first time he'll be fighting with the nose exposed since the first bout with Rafael Márquez. Some of the flavor and the color here at the Dodge Arena in Hidalgo, Texas, as the challenger, Israel Vázquez, not used to walking in first, awaits the champion, Rafael Márquez. Rafael Márquez is money in rematches, a perfect 4-0 with 4 knockouts. The champion in his prime and at the peak of his career. Yet he may be the least known star in boxing. 16 straight wins, 12 by KO, hasn't lost since 2000, and he is hearing it from the crowd. Long recognized as one of the hardest punchers in any division, has now matured into one of the best all-around fighters at any weight. Definitely the man at 122. Incidentally, the last few days, the normally mild-mannered Márquez has grown increasingly upset at Vázquez for blaming the first fight loss on the nose injury. Nose aside, some feel Márquez is simply better, but most agree this will be a rematch to remember. Let's size them up as we go to the tail of the tape. And the numbers, as you'll see, are pretty close. Márquez turned 32 32, just weeks after the first fight, 3 years older than Vázquez. The champion with the slight edge in the height and reach departments, and at yesterday's weigh-in, both men trim and ready, 1 pound under the limit. And the key unified rules for this world title fight: there's no standing 8 count, no 3 knockdown rule. A fighter cannot be saved by the bell in any round. If an accidental headbutt causes a fight to end within 4 rounds, it's a no decision. After 4 rounds, they go to the cards. If a punch causes a cut and the injured fighter can't continue, he loses by TKO. So here at the Dodge Arena in Hidalgo, Texas, getting ready for our main event, Márquez Vázquez 2 for the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship. Let's get the official introductions from our ring announcer, the classy Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, good evening to you and welcome to the Dodge Arena here in Hidalgo, Texas, for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Gary Shaw Productions and Saquon Ringside Promotions in association with Romanza Boxing, Golden Boy Promotions, and Showtime. This bout coming away is sanctioned by the WBC President Jose Suleiman, Supervisor Alberto Guerra, and the Texas Department of Licensing and Regulation Combative Sports Program. The Executive Director is William Kuntz. Our physicians at ringside, Dr. Ivan Melendez and Dr. Benjamin Salinas. Timekeepers at the bell, also keeping count of the knockdowns, John Bernal and Pablo Villarreal. Introducing to you our 3 judges scoring the bout from ringside. From Dallas, Texas, Ray Hawkins. From Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, Alejandro Rochin. And from Dickinson, Texas, Gail Van Hoy. And introducing to you our 3rd man in the ring, our referee in charge of the action from Mexico City, Guadalupe Garcia. All right, fans, here we go with our rematch main event of the evening. 12 rounds of boxing for the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship of the World. And now, ladies and gentlemen in attendance and boxing fans joining us around the world, live from Hidalgo, Texas, it's showtime! Introducing to you first, on my left, the challenger fighting out of the blue corner, wearing red trunks with white trim, fighting out of Los Angeles, California, by way of Mexico City, Distrito Federal, Mexico. He weighed in at a ready 121 pounds with a record of 41 wins and 4 losses. He has 31 wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former WBC and IBF 122-pound world champion, currently ranked the #1 Super Bantamweight world contender by the WBC, introducing Israel El Magnifico Vázquez. And his opponent across the ring, the defending champion on my right, fighting out of the red corner, wearing white trunks with black trim, hailing from Mexico City, Distrito Federal, Mexico. He weighed in the same as his opponent, 121 pounds. His record stands at 37 wins, 3 losses, with 33 big wins coming by way of knockout. Ladies and gentlemen, here is the former longtime IBF Bantamweight world champion and the current WBC Super Bantamweight champion of the world, introducing Rafael Márquez. Once again, a referee in charge, Guadalupe Garcia, now to give instructions.
I already give you the instructions in the dressing room. Ya les di las instrucciones en los vestidores. I want a clean fight. Quiero una pelea limpia. This is the line where the low blows are legal. De aquí hacia arriba es el golpeo, del ombligo hacia arriba. Buena suerte y que gane el mejor. Good luck and the best for the winner. Check the gloves and go to your corner.
Two guys who epitomize what is good about boxing, highly skilled in the ring, total gentlemen outside the ring. And here we go, Rafael Márquez in the white with the black trim, power, polish, speed, accuracy, the heavy right, the stinging jab, and the sharp combinations. Vázquez in the red with the white trim, ferocious left hook, inside pressure, makes every minute count, and he is desperate for victory. So is this in effect round 8? Vázquez felt going in that Márquez, Al, who had a great first round in the original, would come right at him and make it a physical fight.
We've already seen in the first 30 seconds of this round, Márquez landed a nice right hand, Vázquez landed a nice left hook. They're back at it again.
Vázquez said he planned to attack early and often. The unknown factor, of course, is Vázquez's nose.
Now, early on in this fight, one thing to look for, and we talked about it in the keys, the jab of Vázquez. When he jabs his way in, he was very short with that punch in the last fight. It didn't help him get inside. It's working better early because it's helping him work his way right inside.
There's a straight right hand to the nose by Márquez, and Vázquez sending Márquez back with a shot. There's a good left uppercut on the inside by Vázquez.
There's good news and bad news for both fighters. Vázquez is landing his left hook very, very well early. Márquez is landing the right hand very early.
Many feel Márquez will eventually catch Vázquez and end it dramatically. Márquez did predict a knockout but did not specify the round. Right uppercut on the inside there by Márquez. A flurry by Vázquez. Back comes Márquez. Again, back and forth, two-way, non-stop sustained action. What else is new?
Great skill on the inside. There's a combination of a hook and uppercut by Márquez. Márquez's uppercut was a factor in the first fight and could be again, and there it is again for Márquez. This is great, great boxing here in round 1 by both men.
The exchanges rage on. And in a way, it is like round 8.
The hand speed edge for Márquez, though, is still there. And that's a big, big issue that Vázquez has to try and get by. He better hope, Vázquez, that he has the power to hurt Márquez again. The punch rate and accuracy here in round 1, excellent for both men.
The right temple area of Vázquez swollen and red already here in the first round. Márquez working the jab. It was a very effective weapon to set up the big right in the first fight.
Both men want to keep their hands up more. They feel like they lowered their hands, and it was a problem in the last fight. There was a couple good punches by Márquez, but again, Vázquez had his hands up, so he kind of blocked though. Oh, good body work.
Body shots by Márquez. And a good left hook there upstairs by Márquez to finish the round.
No cometas errores.
Don't commit some errors here. Give me the headpiece.
A las cejas.
For the eyebrows.
Necesitas entrar a los lados.
For the eyebrows. You gotta come inside on him. You understand? You are hurting him. You are hurting him. But you are hurting him. That's the way you have to do it. You have to put your head down so he won't hit you with the left hook.
Our translator, Felix de Jesus, Nacho Beristain, one of the most respected and experienced trainers in the sport. In the corner of Márquez, Rudy Perez, who, as we said, replaced Freddie Roach at a critical time heading into the rematch. The longtime trainer of Marco Antonio Barrera, now in there with Vázquez.
You know, Márquez told us before this fight he would throw more punches than he did in the last fight. He is very, very active. They both are.
So round 2 scheduled for 12 for the WBC 122-pound championship. Off to a rousing start already.
with some exciting exchanges.
They told Vázquez, of course, he needs to be on the inside. But, you know, it's no picnic when you're on the inside with Rafael Márquez because he's also a very skilled fighter in there.
What a difference watching this polish after the sloppy first fight. Same weight class.
The jab of Márquez, again, a little sharper than Vázquez's is so far. But, you know, for Israel Vázquez, he just needs the jab to be good enough to get him on the inside.
Here's the jab of Márquez pushing Vázquez back. Trying to keep him at bay, off balance with the jab. And every once in a while it sets up the heavy right.
See the right hand up high by Márquez, and the left hook came off it by Vázquez. Márquez needs to keep his hand up.
Body shot, left hook.
Speaking of keeping things up, the punches too.
Yeah, Márquez getting a little warning from the referee Guadalupe Garcia from Mexico City.
Good right hand by Israel Vázquez after a jab. Didn't hurt Márquez. The right hand is not Vázquez's big knockout punch. It's mostly the left hook. There are so many good punches being thrown in this fight that trying to keep track of them is tricky for the judges as well as us.
Of course, it was the left hook that dropped Márquez in round 3 of the first fight after Vázquez was hurt by a straight right by Márquez. And it was a left hook by Márquez that started the damage on Vázquez's nose near the end of the first round. There's the left hook by Márquez on cue.
You know, Márquez is throwing a lot of those left hooks. Puts him in a little danger of getting countered by Vázquez with the left hook. And it's tempting because he can throw the hook, Márquez.
Beautiful left hook there by Vázquez.
Best punch of the fight for him so far.
That got Márquez's attention.
Followed by 3 straight jabs by Márquez.
Remember that one resounding punch towards the end of the first fight by Vázquez and Márquez was unfazed. There's another left hook upstairs by Vázquez just before the bell. A couple of good left hooks by the challenger.
You got to watch out with his left hook. Here's the end swell for the eye. The both eyes, both eyes. You have to give him velocity. Use a lot of velocity. Water, some water. Come on.
When Israel Vázquez jabs his way in, he is effective. He doubles the jab, throws the jab, and then throws the left hook. That is exactly, and there's another good jab. The Vázquez jab, much better in round 2 than it has been in any of the rounds he's fought with Márquez.
Final instructions from Nacho Baristay and Rudy Perez with a final word for Vázquez. There's a small cut on the bridge of Vázquez's nose.
The plot thickens.
Indeed. Round 3. The infighting. Dead center of the ring.
If ever 2 fighters were made for each other, these 2 are. They are in front of each other, throwing excellent punches. Both men have a smidge of a problem defensively, and so that leaves the chance that they can be hit.
Makes it more exciting for the fans, of course, but what a... he's wobbled. Márquez is wobbled.
Same kind of left hook that hurt him in the first fight.
Let's see if Vázquez jumps all over Márquez now. He has Márquez in some trouble, but look at Márquez fighting back. Unbelievable.
And Márquez showed great poise when he was knocked down the first time, but he was more hurt this time.
Yes, he was. He came back with a good 4th round of that first fight after being knocked down to the 3rd, but he really got jolted here.
Same round, too.
Exactly. He has slowed down considerably now, Márquez. Now Márquez comes back with a left hook. And a straight right and a left hook by Vázquez. Back comes a right hand by Márquez. Márquez pressed up against the ropes, not where he wants to be. A left hook to the temple by Vázquez. Márquez misses with a left hook.
Can you say Corrales to steal? This is an amazing round of boxing. Big uppercut.
Uppercut by Vázquez. It sends Márquez back to the ropes. Márquez, though, swings away anyway. And he comes
There's a terrible cut around the right eye of Vázquez now. His face is bloodied on the right side. Israel Vázquez. Heads may have collided. He's got problems in both eyes now, Vázquez.
Márquez has gotten himself back into this round in a major way. Amazing.
And now Vázquez with some drama. He's got problems with the cuts. And 45 seconds left in the third round. And Márquez landing with rights and lefts, sending Vázquez back. Another series of punches, a great combination by Márquez. And this is after Márquez was in trouble. Márquez wailing away at the head of Vázquez. As the blood continues to flow from the eyes of Vázquez. Márquez winging, landing. Left hook upstairs, landing by Márquez. Everything's connecting, but look who's coming forward. It's Vázquez. Now Márquez comes forward. Back comes Vázquez with a left and a right. Non-stop. Incredible action. Unbelievable. A right hand that tapped Márquez. No let-up whatsoever.
Water. Here's some water. Here's some water. Listen to what I have to say.
Israel Vázquez, just as he did in the third round of the first fight, lands a big left hook that creates all kinds of problems for Márquez. And then later in the round, Rafael Márquez, after he had been hurt, came back in this round. The action was just spectacular. Both men landing big punches. There's the right hand punctuating it by Márquez. A very close round after Márquez had been hurt early.
And you see blood underneath the right eye of Márquez. There's blood around both eyes of Vázquez. Furious action in round number 3 as we enter round 4. Joe Chavez, the veteran cut man, with his work cut out in the Vázquez corner. Vázquez marching forward, throwing in volume. What a work rate by both guys. Now Vázquez digging to the body. Back comes Márquez to the midsection.
And it was ruled apparently that the punch is what created the cut around Vázquez's eye. No ruling of a clash of heads.
Now there's swelling underneath the right eye of Márquez, and that could become a factor. Beautiful right uppercut on the inside by Vázquez on the chin.
The legs of Márquez not steady right now. Oh, what a body shot by Márquez. That hurt Vázquez. That was a great left hook to the body.
He's got Vázquez backpedaling momentarily. Then a left uppercut on the inside of the chin by Vázquez.
They knew coming in they could not get hit with that left hook of Vázquez, and boy, Vázquez has found a way to land it against Márquez. It's been a big weapon. And I'll tell you one mistake Márquez is making after he lands that big right. Márquez is throwing too many left hooks of his own. He's leaving himself open because of that punch for Vázquez to land his own hook.
Both faces bloody as they trade in the center of the ring. Big right hand there by Márquez. So he's going back to his money punch.
Yep. Rafael Márquez should be throwing the jab and a straight right hand and eschewing any effort to land the left hook, because that puts him in harm's way to get the left hook landed by Vázquez.
Left hook there by Vázquez. Blood's getting in the, I believe, the left eye of Vázquez. He's blinking heavily. We approach the final minute of the 4th round. Boy, this is like one of those old-time fights.
Amazing. I mean, both men said they thought this would be better than the first one. It is. Great body work by Márquez, and there's the jab making itself known again.
One throws and the other throws. Then the other one comes back. Márquez pushing Vázquez back with a left-right combination.
You know, before the first fight, Israel Vázquez says, I'm the real super bantamweight. I've been at this weight. I'm stronger. In some ways, he's demonstrating that here tonight.
Márquez, that's right. You got to remember, he was coming up from 118 in the last fight. But you wouldn't know it.
Very close round here. Both men have gotten so much work done.
Oh, what a right hand by Márquez up top. Vázquez coming back. Back comes Márquez.
Phenomenal.
The blood really bothering the right eye of Vázquez.
We see the right, overhead right by Vázquez. He got off to a very quick start in that round. However, Márquez ripping this monstrous left hook downstairs. Look at him. Wow. I mean, that was a great body punch. And it pushed Vázquez back. I think it hurt him temporarily. And at the end of the round, Márquez had his way with a freight train right hand, followed by the jab. I mean, how many big shots can either of these fighters take? They have been blasted with big, big punches. What a great fight, not just from an excitement standpoint, from a technique standpoint.
Look at the face of the champion, Rafael Márquez. Israel Vázquez actually now looks the better of the two. Ripping, stirring action for 4 rounds as we enter the 5th, scheduled for 12 for the WBC Super Bantamweight Championship. Márquez in the white with the black trim, Vázquez in the red with the white trim. Márquez, the champion, 37-3, 33 knockouts. Vázquez, the challenger, 41-4, 31 knockouts in a scintillating rematch. Márquez winning the first fight when Vázquez had to quit on his stool with a nose injury after the 7th round of the original.
Márquez is backing himself into the ropes more than I think they would like. And giving Vázquez a chance to work the body and the head.
And remember, the rematch taking place just 5 months after the first fight.
And conditioning already an issue. We're in round 5, but when you fought at this pace and both have been hurt so much, you already start to ask yourself, who's better conditioned?
The skill level, Al, here is so high. That's what's so impressive, and that's what makes this rivalry stand out above so many other ballyhoo rivalries. As you take a look at the press row, Jason Gonzalez, Mark may have Márquez ahead, and Jason McDaniel has it even.
I've got it a draw, 38-38.
Midway through the 5th round, the pace has slowed just a tad.
Márquez is keeping his, now that cut, by the way, a big issue, and it was not caused by a clash of heads, they ruled. So that's going to be an issue for Vázquez. It's bleeding more heavily now.
It's around the right eye. It's getting into the right eye more than the cut around the left eye. And you can see he senses the urgency, so he's pouring in on Márquez. But every time he does, he gets nailed.
You know, Márquez's jab has not been quite as effective in the last couple of rounds. It would be a punch that could open up.
Oh, down goes Vázquez, but it's being ruled a slip. As the blood continues to streak down, Vázquez's right side, he comes roaring back. They trade toe-to-toe in the center of the ring. Vázquez pushing Márquez back.
Psychologically, Vázquez caught Márquez at a vulnerable moment. Márquez thought it was a knockdown and thought the guy might be hurt. Vázquez came right after.
Yeah, he sensed that maybe Márquez let down momentarily and tried to take advantage of the situation. He has slowed Márquez in his tracks here.
What a close round here, though, in round 5.
Good right hand off the top of the head of Márquez.
Márquez's right hand is so low, the hook will land again by Vázquez. Wow. Was this a knockdown or was it not? Now both eyes, by the way, cut for Vázquez.
Let me get the inswell.
Let's take a look and see if we think this could have been a knockdown. Very hard to tell when it happened. No, it was a slip. Definitely slipped. Their legs got tangled. The referee made an absolutely correct call. And And in a close fight like this, that could be a factor. We'll see again from an overhead. No, the right hand missed. They got their feet tangled. So great call by referee Guadalupe Garcia.
Take it out.
Here we go into round 6. That was a correct call by Guadalupe Garcia, the third man of the ring. Vázquez, despite the fact that it was called a slip, still looking a little bit on the dazed side. Oh, down goes Márquez! A left hook by Israel Vázquez sends Márquez sprawling to the canvas. Second time he's put down by Vázquez in this series.
And it's early in this round, which is a key point. Lots of time for Vázquez to get something done.
Remember, Márquez came back the last time he was knocked down in the third round of the first fight. Will it happen again? Vázquez looking to close the show. He's going in for the finish. Canvassing Márquez. Márquez almost working on instinct. Oh, a right uppercut on the inside of Vázquez. A left hook by Vázquez. Márquez holding on up against the ropes. Vázquez all over Márquez. Can he end it here in the 6th round? Relentless attack by Israel Vázquez. He's got Márquez pressed up against the ropes just above us. Back goes Márquez. Garcia steps in. The fight is over. Revenge. Redemption for Israel Vázquez. Unbelievable finish. A dazed Rafael Márquez, a celebratory, exultant Israel Vázquez. What a remarkable, dramatic finish to this fight. A tremendous fight.
Very simply put, Rafael Márquez said, I have to avoid getting hit with the left hook again like I did in the first match. He couldn't do it. This man with cuts on both eyes that could potentially end this fight at any time was able to get enough of those big left hooks in to do in this man, Rafael Márquez. Some may question the stoppage. They may feel like referee Garcia should have given him a little more time. I don't know. Certainly he was still defending himself, but not a huge protest in the Márquez corner.
Both men committed to giving the fans an all-action fight. They lived up to that commitment again. Explosive, dynamic action. Did somebody say trilogy?
Boy, it was an astonishing fight. The left hook of Vázquez, which had hurt Márquez earlier in the fight, lands right on the point of the chin, sends him down. This was early in the round, remember, so that was part of the issue for Márquez. Plenty of time for Vázquez to try and get the job done. Yet another look at and look how low the right hand is for Márquez. And he got hit with the left hook. Vázquez was able to work his way inside where he could throw that punch very effectively. And then the end of the fight, we'll see where referee Garcia stops the action. No question, Márquez was in some trouble. Now, he slipped there, and clearly his legs were not totally underneath him at this juncture. Márquez lands a little left hook. They're battling on the inside, a bang of heads. Now, clearly Márquez, still punching back, moves backward. Well, I'm going to be honest. I'm going to tell you that was a quick stoppage. I'm going to tell you that this referee should have given Rafael Márquez another 45 seconds to see what he could do, because he had just thrown a punch back. Yes, he moved back, straight back. I got to be honest. That was a quick stoppage.
Well, it'll be interesting to hear what Rafael Márquez has to say about it.
He may well have been knocked out in that round, but I believe that the opportunity should have been given to him to continue, because he was still throwing punches just 5 seconds before that.
All right, now let's throw it up to our ring announcer, Jimmy Lennon Jr., for the official announcement.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have the time of 1 minute 16 seconds in round number 6. Our referee in charge, Guadalupe Garcia, stops the contest. He is the winner by way of technical knockout. And once again, the WBC Super Bantamweight Champion of the world, Israel El Magnifico
The crowd saluting the champion, Israel Vázquez, the former and new champion. So could we see the rare boxing trilogy between Vázquez and Márquez now down the road? Vázquez avenging his loss in the first fight. You see Márquez trying to sort it all out in his head. Vázquez silencing his critics, evens the score, and he takes the rematch.
Brilliant performance by Israel Vázquez, and almost equally brilliant by Rafael Márquez. He was so superb, but this man's power ended up winning the day.
He recaptures the WBC Super Bantamweight belt. Let's go up into the ring. And Jim Gray. Jim?
All right, Steve, thank you very much. Let's bring Guadalupe Garcia in here first to tell us why, in fact, you stopped this fight. What led to your decision?
En español.
Go ahead, in español, sí. Go ahead.
Rafael Márquez, después de la primera caída, se levantó muy valiente. Es todo un guerrero. Demostró que es un gran peleador. Y estaba en malas condiciones cuando yo detuve el combate porque dejarlo seguir era peligroso para su carrera y su vida.
After the first knockout, he saw that he was in bad shape, so because of his career and everything, he decided to stop the fight.
As we take a look at the end of the fight, please ask Guadalupe what was going through his mind that led him to believe there was further trouble and damage.
¿Qué estaba pasando por tu mente que tú
En ese momento yo estaba muy atento, muy concentrado, viendo que Israel Vázquez estaba dominando claramente las acciones y vi que en ese momento se desvaneció un poco Rafael Márquez y era peligroso continuar, dejar seguir la pelea.
He was very concentrated in that direct moment, and he saw that it was very dangerous to keep the fight going in regards to Márquez.
Thank you very much.
En este deporte, antes que nada, primero está la vida de un peleador que los intereses creados.
First of all, in this kind of fighting, the interest of the fighter is the best thing.
Thank you. Thank you, Guadalupe. Israel, congratulations to you. Muy bueno.
Gracias. Thank you very much, and all for people for supporting me.
Were you concerned that your eyes were going to cause a stoppage of the fight, much like your nose did in the first fight?
¿Tú pensaste que los ojos te iban a producir que iban a parar la pelea?
Pues en sí no podía mirar, pero nunca desistí en seguir la pelea. Y ahí tienen el resultado, gané a muy buena ley.
I won, and yes, I did. I was very concerned with my eyes, so I did win the fight.
At what point did you sense that you had to end this fight because of the shape of your eyes?
¿Cuándo tú pensaste que tenía que terminar esta pelea debido a los ojos, de la condición de los ojos?
No, pues cada round salía a apretar. Lógicamente Rafa venía muy bien preparado y lo demostró, hizo muy buena oposición y por eso no pudimos terminar la pelea antes.
I came prepared every round, and we couldn't finish it earlier because he was a great fighter, but I was looking for it as soon as I knew I was hurt.
Did you believe that the referee stopped the fight too soon, or did you believe that Márquez was in trouble?
¿Tú pensaste que Márquez estaba en problemas o que el referee paró la pelea muy temprano?
Sí, yo pienso que estaba en problemas. Si él no lo reconoce, es porque realmente estaba lastimado. Era cuestión de tiempo, si no era cerrado, nada al siguiente.
He says it was just a matter of time. If it wasn't this round, it would have been the next round. He knew that he was in trouble.
We've had two great fights. Will there be a third in English?
Yes.
Por favor.
I want the third fight.
You want a third fight? Okay. Congratulations to you. Rafael, come on in. Felix will help us here to translate again. Did you believe that the fight should have been stopped? Were you in physical danger and trouble?
¿Tú pensaste que debió el referee de acabar la pelea? ¿Tú estabas en problemas?
No, todavía no estaba en problemas. Yo estaba bien, estaba tirando golpes. No sé por qué la paró el referee. No entiendo por qué. Estaba tirando golpes.
I was still throwing punches. I don't know why he stopped the fight, because I was still able to fight.
You were cognizant. You were not in trouble in your mind?
Estaba consciente. Tú nunca estabas en problemas.
Claro, sí estaba consciente. No estaba en problemas. Estaba tirando golpes. No sé por qué la paró el referee de esa manera.
I don't know why the referee stopped it that manner, because I was still throwing punches.
Did you feel as though you could continue this fight and win, and did you recognize that his eyes were a problem and that gave you an opportunity to end this fight?
¿Tú pensabas que podía seguir en esta pelea y se veía que los ojos eran problema ya para él?
Claro que sí, ya el referee nunca lo vio, tuvo problemas el referee de no verlo y es lo que le ocasionó él que siguiera. No sé por qué nunca lo vio, el referee lo protegió, ni el doctor, nadie, ni la comisión, nadie lo vio.
He goes that he doesn't know why the commission or the referee didn't see that he was in trouble because of his eyes that were sliced up, that were hurt.
So you would like to have a third fight. We've now had 2 great fights. Would you like a third?
Quisiera una tercera pelea, ya han habido 2 grandes peleas.
Claro que sí, de hombre a hombre, habíamos dicho que yo le daba la revancha. Y claro que se la dio ahora de hombre a hombre, que me la dé para que todo este público sea satisfecho y salga de una tercera revancha, ¿no?
Man to man, we told him we were going to give him the next fight. So now, man to man, we want him to give us the third fight. He's willing to do it.
Do you acknowledge that this was a superb effort by Vázquez tonight?
Tú sabes que hoy fue un trabajo superbo de parte de Vázquez.
Claro que sí, peleó muy bien. Vázquez es un aguerrido, es un peleador muy fuerte. Pero esta vez no sé por qué me la paró el referee. Estaba bien yo. No había caído y estaba bien, estaba tirando golpes. No sé por qué me la paró.
Yes, I know he's a powerful fighter, but I don't know why he stopped the fight because I was still throwing punches.
You have not lost a fight in 7 years. Internally, is there obviously disappointment, but what is this like, having not been in this position for such a long time?
Tú tienes 7 años que no has perdido una pelea. ¿Qué sientes ahora que después que perdiste esta pelea?
Bueno, pues me siento destrozado, ¿no? Y mal satisfecho, pero va a haber una tercera pelea que el primero día la voy a ganar y que me la dé de hombre a hombre, no porque se la dimos nosotros y ahora que me la dé a él a mí.
I don't feel satisfied, of course, you know, the first loss, but we just want that fight to happen, that third fight.
Rafael, thank you. Felix, thank you. Let's go back now to Steve Albert and Al Bernstein.
All right, Jim, thank you very much. With all that has happened in the first 2 fights, the controversial endings, this one, all the ingredients of a trilogy. Let's check the scoring at the time of the stoppage. Ray Hawkins had Vázquez up 48-47. Alejandro Rochin had Vázquez up the same. Gail Van Hoy as well.
That's exactly the way I had this fight scored.
And we'll take a look at press row scoring now. Jason Gonzalez had Márquez up by 3 at the time of the stoppage. Mark May had Márquez up by 2. And the closest score was Jason McDaniel by 1.
And you can make a strong case for that Jason McDaniel score for sure, or Mark Mays for that matter.
So as I mentioned to you, there's a look at the new champion. Israel Vázquez sets up a trilogy fight down the road, and a chance for Al Bernstein here to perhaps expound at some point on the controversial stoppage.
Let's take a look at the knockdown that started the problems. The left hook had been a big issue for Márquez during the course of this fight. He kept his right hand low, and there was a left hook to the body, and then here comes the left hook to the head. The right hand continued to be low for Márquez. It was the one weapon he knew he had to stop with Vázquez. There's an old adage, you don't hook with a hooker. That is exactly what Márquez did tonight, and so he was hit with repeated left hooks, and that is ultimately what did him in. Now, here is the end of the fight. Now, Márquez, of course, was in trouble. There's no question about that. He was landing punches, however. Now, he slipped on the logo at that juncture, so that was that problem. Now, he's inside. He's still throwing some punches. Now, he will go straight back, which is what made Guadalupe Garcia decide that the fight should be stopped. He kind of will skid backward on the rope, straight back. Now, he got hit with a big right hand, but he's still covering up. I am loath to criticize officials. My whole career I have been loath to criticize officials. And let me say, it is possible that Israel Vázquez would have knocked Márquez out later in that round. Having said all that, Guadalupe Garcia panicked and stopped this fight too early. That is a simple truth of what happened here. It takes nothing, however, away from Israel Vázquez's performance. Vázquez was superb in this fight.
And without question, then, you would like to see a third fight in this colossal rivalry.
It has all the ingredients. We saw in the first fight the hand speed and combinations of Márquez make a bigger difference. Of course, the nose issue came into play. In the second fight, the man who claimed all along he was the stronger super bantamweight, he won it with his power. But while he won it, he was this close to losing because of the cuts over his eyes, and we have what I think will be a controversy over the stoppage. given all that, how could we not have a third fight?
Well, an incredibly entertaining and exciting night here in Hidalgo, Texas. What a night indeed. In our main event, the two Mexican rivals hooked up for the second time in just 5 months. This time, Israel Vázquez came up victorious to regain the WBC Super Bantamweight title. That'll